All right, so get this. We're diving into a world that makes even, like, teen drama seem tame.
Oh, yeah.
It's wilder, but with real life, like, fallout, you know?
Yeah?
Think Gossip Girl.
Okay.
But instead of made-up characters, we're talking real New York City socialites
Uh-huh.
living under the microscope of this anonymous blog,
Oh, wow.
Socialite Rank. It ruled the mid-2000s.
That's fascinating.
It really is. So for those who missed that whole Gossip Girl thing, it was this show all about, like, scandalous lives of Manhattan's elite teens,
Right.
all under the watchful eye of this mysterious blogger.
Oh, I see.
And Socialite Rank in the real world had a similar impact.
Absolutely. They weren't just dishing dirt. They actually shaped the whole social scene.
So paint a picture for us of what, like, the New York socialite scene was like back then.
Okay, so picture the mid-2000s.
Okay.
A peak time for this, like, super visible social scene.
Uh-huh.
Old money versus new money.
Oh, yeah.
Intense competition for the best designer, close invitations to the right galas. Just this pressure to maintain a certain image, you know.
So, like, a lot of smoke and mirrors, basically.
Totally. And within that world, you had figures like Tinsley Mortimer.
Oh, yeah.
She was the it girl, the one who, like, embodied Socialite Rank's ideal.
Right.
Then you had Olivia Palermo,
Uh-huh.
often criticized for being a social climber. Of course, Lauren Santo Domingo.
Ah.
Practically fashion royalty. Even Socialite Rank seemed to give her a pass.
Wow. It sounds intense.
Yeah.
So how did Socialite Rank actually work? I mean, they were totally anonymous, right?
Yeah, for a while, the authors were a complete mystery,
Really?
which just added to their mystique.
Right.
Turned out to be Fabian and Martina Basabe.
Okay.
But that initial anonymity gave them power.
Yeah.
They could be brutally honest,
Yeah.
even cruel in their critiques.
So people really paid attention?
Oh, yeah. People couldn't resist seeing who got praised,
Uh-huh.
who got slammed, and where they ranked on this social ladder.
It's, like, so addictive, right?
It really was. It became an obsession, checking the blog every single day to see who was up and who was down.
So how did that ranking system actually work? What were they judging these socialites on?
They were looking at everything.
Like what?
Your family's lineage,
Oh, wow.
your style, your connections, how you carried yourself at events. It was a mix of objective and subjective criteria,
Right.
all filtered through their very specific worldview.
So it wasn't just about being, like, rich and famous.
Oh, not really.
There were this whole other set of rules
Exactly.
to be, like, a true socialite.
And Socialite Rank became the judge and jury
Wow.
of who met those standards.
Yeah.
It wasn't just gossip. They were shaping the definition of what it meant to be a socialite in that era.
That's incredible. How did these socialites react to all this scrutiny?
It varied. Some were devastated by the criticism,
I bet.
others tried to ignore it, and some even seemed to, like, court the attention,
Really?
good or bad. It's like they realized that even negative publicity could boost your profile.
So even back then, they knew how to work the media.
They were ahead of their time.
Yeah.
Socialite Rank understood that controversy generates clicks,
Right.
and clicks translate to influence.
Even if it's not always good influence.
Precisely.
It's so interesting. Why were people so obsessed with this blog?
Well, I think it taps into our natural curiosity,
Uh-huh.
that desire to know what goes on behind closed doors.
Especially when it comes to those, like, glamorous and exclusive worlds.
Exactly. It's like getting a peek into a secret society.
Right. Even if that society is ultimately pretty shallow.
There's definitely an element of that,
Yeah.
but I think it also goes deeper than just voyeurism.
Okay.
Socialite Rank provided social commentary, a critique of this whole culture of wealth and privilege.
Right.
They held a mirror up to these socialites, exposed their flaws and hypocrisies.
So they weren't just reporting, they were judging too.
Exactly. And that's where their impact lies.
Okay.
They weren't just documenting, they were actively shaping the scene,
Right.
influencing how people viewed these socialites
Yeah.
and how the socialites themselves behaved.
Okay, so let's talk about the Olivia Palermo incident.
Yes, this is where things get really interesting.
This is where Socialite Rank really crossed a line, right?
It's where things get really intriguing.
Okay.
They published a letter,
What?
supposedly written by Olivia herself,
Oh my gosh.
begging to be accepted into the inner circle.
No way.
It was brutal,
Really?
portraying her as desperate and manipulative.
So that was like social suicide for her.
You would think so, right?
Yeah.
But that's not where the story ends.
Really?
This whole incident propelled her career.
Wait, what? You're saying the scandal actually helped her?
It's one of the most fascinating twists.
How is that even possible?
The controversy, the attention, it gave her notoriety
Okay.
that she later leveraged to become a major fashion influencer.
So she really turned it around.
It's a testament to her resilience.
Wow.
And it speaks to the changing landscape of fame and influence.
So maybe Socialite Rank wasn't as all-powerful as they thought.
Maybe they underestimated Olivia's ability to adapt
Right.
and turn the tables.
It makes you wonder if they realized the monster they were creating.
It's a fascinating point.
They were so focused on tearing down these socialites,
Yeah.
but maybe they were laying the groundwork for a whole new kind of fame.
Right.
One built on personal branding and online savvy.
Olivia's story is almost a preview of the influencer culture to come.
Interesting.
She took this negative attention
Uh-huh.
and spun it into a platform, a brand, a career.
Wow.
It's Socialite Rank's legacy, whether they intended it or not.
So they exposed the cracks in this perfect world of high society, and in doing so, opened the door for a new generation.
To rewrite the rules.
Okay, so we've got this cutthroat social scene, this anonymous blog holding everyone accountable, and Olivia Palermo rising from the ashes.
It's better than a soap opera.
But ultimately, Socialite Rank didn't last forever.
That's right.
What brought about their downfall?
Well, like most things, hubris played a role.
Okay.
The Basabes being outed was a turning point.
Oh, yeah.
That cloak of anonymity was gone.
Right.
And suddenly they were just two people with opinions.
Not this all-seeing, all-knowing force.
Precisely.
So the mystique faded, and the socialites felt emboldened to fight back.
Exactly. The people they had critiqued and ridiculed closed ranks.
Oh, wow.
They ostracized the Basabes and basically made it impossible for them to continue.
It's kind of poetic.
There's definitely irony there.
The world they exposed turned on them.
It speaks to the power dynamics at play.
Yeah.
Socialite Rank might have had the upper hand for a while,
Uh-huh.
but they were operating within a system they didn't control.
And when that system pushed back...
They didn't stand a chance.
Okay, so Socialite Rank rose to power, stirred up a ton of drama, and then vanished.
Almost as quickly as they appeared.
But their impact, their legacy...
That's something we're still grappling with.
Absolutely. Socialite Rank might seem like a relic of the past.
This quirky little blog focused on a tiny segment of society. Their influence runs much deeper.
Right.
They were a harbinger of things to come.
Mm-hmm.
A preview of how the internet would transform our relationship with fame status and the very idea of social hierarchy.
And to think it all started with a few snarky blog posts about who wore what to which party.
That's the thing about gossip.
What is it?
It's never just about the surface details.
Right.
It's about power, about who controls the narrative, about who gets to decide what's important, what's cool, what's worthy of attention.
And in the age of social media.
Those questions are more relevant than ever.
So as we move on to the next part of our deep dive,
Okay.
I want you to keep that in mind.
I will.
Socialite Rank might be gone,
Right.
but the forces they unleashed, the dynamics they exposed, those are still very much alive and well.
Absolutely.
And maybe understanding this little blog from the mid-2000s can give us some insight into the much larger forces shaping our world today.
I think so. You know, it's funny.
How something as like frivolous as a gossip blog about New York socialites can offer such a clear window into how our whole culture has changed.
It's true. We've gone from these meticulously curated images in magazines to just this constant stream of seemingly unfiltered content online.
Exactly. Socialite Rank was almost a bridge between those two worlds.
Right.
They took that exclusive behind-the-scenes information and made it public, but with their own spin, their own judgment.
And that judgment, that ranking system,
it
really seems to have gotten under the skin of these socialites.
Oh, for sure.
Do you think it actually changed their behavior? Like, did they start trying to play the game to appeal to Socialite Rank standards?
I think it's undeniable.
Really?
That Socialite Rank impacted how they presented themselves. Suddenly, it wasn't just about pleasing your peers.
Right.
It was about appeasing this anonymous online entity.
That could, like, make or break your reputation with a single post.
So it was like they were performing for two audiences at once.
Exactly.
The real-life social scene and this virtual court of public opinion.
Precisely. And that shift is so crucial to understanding how influencer culture emerged.
So you're saying Socialite Rank was laying out the blueprint.
They were pioneers.
Wow.
Even if they didn't fully realize it at the time.
Right.
For how to build a personal brand in this new digital landscape.
It's like they were creating the rules of a game they didn't even know they were playing.
Right. And those rules They haven't gone away.
Okay.
They've just evolved and expanded to include a much wider range of people.
Right. Like, think about the way we curate our online profiles.
Oh, yeah.
The way we present ourselves on social media.
It's all about crafting an image, a narrative.
Right.
That will attract followers and influence.
So in a way, everyone has become a socialite.
I think that's a great point.
At least in the sense of being aware of their online presence and how it impacts their real life.
I think that's a really astute observation.
Socialite Rank might have focused on a very specific niche.
Right.
But the underlying dynamics they exposed, those are universal now.
Absolutely. We're all navigating this complex world of online reputation, personal branding.
Right.
And the constant pressure to present a certain image.
And you can't deny there's a thrill to it.
Of course.
That feeling of being in the know.
Yeah.
Of having access to this, like, insider information. It's addictive.
Oh, it is.
Socialite Rank tapped into that perfectly.
Absolutely.
There's a reason gossip has been around for centuries.
Yeah, it's not just idle chatter.
Right.
It's a way of understanding the world. Understanding power dynamics.
Okay.
Feeling connected to something larger than ourselves.
And Socialite Rank took that impulse and, like, amplified it.
They gave it a platform, a structure, a voice.
And that voice, even though it was anonymous, it resonated with people.
It spoke to this desire for authenticity.
Right.
For transparency.
Yeah.
Even if it was filtered through their very specific worldview.
Okay, so they were snarky, judgmental, and maybe a little cruel.
Sure. But they tapped into something real, something that people were hungry for.
I think that's the key to understanding their impact. They weren't just gossiping.
No, they were providing commentary
on
society, on the culture of wealth and privilege, on the nature of fame and influence.
And that's why they resonated with people.
Exactly.
Even those who weren't part of that world.
It's like they were holding up a funhouse mirror to society,
right?
Distorting the image. But also revealing some hidden truths.
And those hidden truths, they're what makes Socialite Rank so relevant.
Even today.
Right. They were grappling with questions about power, about who gets to decide what's valuable, about how we construct our identities.
In a world dominated by images. And online personas.
And those questions, they're more important than ever now.
They really are.
As we navigate this world of social media, influencer marketing, and the constant pressure to present a perfect, curated version of ourselves.
Absolutely.
Socialite Rank was a product of its time.
Yes, but the themes they explored, the dynamics they exposed, they're timeless.
Okay.
They offer a glimpse into the human desire for connection, for status, for validation.
Right.
And for a peek behind the curtain.
Of those glamorous lives.
Exactly.
Okay, so Socialite Rank might be gone, but their legacy lives on.
It does.
Not just in the world of social media influencers,
right,
but in the way we all think about our online presence.
Absolutely.
Our personal brands and the evolving nature of social currency.
I think that's a really insightful way to sum it up.
Socialite Rank might have been a blip on the radar of internet history, but its impact is still rippling outwards.
It is.
Shaping the way we interact with each other, consume media, and construct our identities in this digital age.
That's the beauty of these deep dives, isn't it?
What is it?
We delve into these seemingly niche topics. And we uncover these universal truths. About human nature. But the way we operate as individuals and as a society.
All right, so we've explored the rise and fall of Socialite Rank.
Yes.
We've, like, dissected their ranking system. And we've analyzed their impact on the social scene and the broader culture.
We have.
But there's one more layer to this story that I think is worth exploring.
What's that?
The parallels with Gossip Girl.
Oh, yes.
The similarities are pretty striking.
They are.
You can't ignore the timing, the themes, the whole concept of this anonymous entity holding so much power over a group of elite individuals.
It's almost like Gossip Girl took the real-life drama of Socialite Rank. Fictionalized, it amped up the stakes. And turned it into a cultural phenomenon.
And it wasn't just the overall concept. Even some of the characters seem to have real-life counterparts.
Like who?
Like Blair Waldorf with her obsession with status and control.
Oh, yeah.
She's almost a mirror image of Olivia Palermo.
Definitely.
At least in the way Socialite Rank portrayed her.
I think that's a really astute observation.
Blair's cunning, her manipulation, her willingness to do whatever it takes to climb the social ladder.
Yeah.
It echoes the image Socialite Rank painted of Olivia.
For sure.
And Serena van der Woodsen with her effortless charm and popularity.
Right.
She's almost a fictionalized version of Tinsley Mortimer.
I see that.
The it girl who embodied Socialite Rank's ideal.
It's uncanny.
And of course, you can't forget Jenny Humphrey.
Oh, Jenny.
The aspiring designer, constantly trying to break into the inner circle.
Trying so hard.
She represents that ambition, that hunger for acceptance, like that Socialite Rank both criticized and in a way fueled. Gossip Girl really captured that dynamic.
They did.
That push and pull between wanting to be part of this exclusive world while also recognizing its shallowness and flaws.
They took the subtext of Socialite Rank.
Right.
And made it the text of the show.
So do you think Gossip Girl was directly inspired by Socialite Rank?
It's hard to say for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it was a combination of things.
Okay.
Socialite Rank was definitely part of the zeitgeist. This growing awareness of how the internet was changing the rules of fame and influence.
Right.
Gossip Girl capitalized on that. They took those themes and crafted this compelling narrative that resonated with a much wider audience.
So in a way, Socialite Rank paved the way for Gossip Girl.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Which in turn further popularized those themes and brought them into the mainstream.
And it's a reminder
of what?
That pop culture doesn't exist in a vacuum.
Okay.
It's constantly being shaped by real-life events. By social trends, by the anxieties and aspirations of the people who consume it.
Okay, so we've got this interplay between a real-life gossip blog and a fictional teen drama.
Yeah.
Both reflecting and shaping the cultural landscape of the mid-2000s.
That's right.
But let's bring this back to our listener.
Okay.
What's the takeaway?
That's a great question.
Why should they care about this seemingly obscure piece of internet history?
I think the story of Socialite Rank offers some valuable lessons.
Like what?
About the nature of power, influence, and the ways in which the internet has transformed our relationship with those concepts.
Right.
It's a reminder that even seemingly frivolous forms of entertainment can have a profound impact on our culture.
Right.
On the way we view ourselves and each other.
And it's a reminder that those dynamics, those power struggles, those anxieties about status and acceptance, they haven't gone away.
They haven't.
They've just shifted to a new playing field.
The vast and ever-evolving landscape of social media.
Exactly.
So the next time you're scrolling through your Instagram feed, or reading a celebrity gossip article, or even watching a show like Gossip Girl, think about Socialite Rank. Think about the forces at play.
Yeah.
The motivations behind the carefully curated images.
Okay.
The stories being told and the stories being silenced.
Because in a way, we're all navigating our own version of Socialite Rank now.
I think that's a really powerful takeaway.
We're all curating our online personas, building our personal brands.
Right.
Trying to figure out where we fit
in this complex social hierarchy.
And maybe, just maybe, understanding the past can help us navigate the present.
The past is never truly past.
Right.
Especially when it comes to the digital world. The echoes of Socialite Rank are still reverberating today. Reminding us that the quest for status, the desire for validation, the allure of exclusivity, these are all part of the human experience.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to leave our listener with one final thought.
What's that?
Be mindful of the narratives you're consuming and the narratives you're creating. We're all part of this complex system of influence.
We are, whether we realize it or not.
It's a world where anyone can be a critic, a commentator, an influencer.
That's right.
So choose your words carefully.
Yes.
Be critical of the information you encounter.
Right.
And remember that behind every carefully curated image, there's a story waiting to be uncovered.
Absolutely.
It's crazy to think that this little blog, Socialite Rank, could have such a lasting impact.
It really shows how the internet has changed everything.
Right.
It's leveled the playing field in some ways.
Yeah.
But it's also created new hierarchies, new forms of power and influence.
So Socialite Rank was just the beginning.
I think so.
They were pioneers. even if they didn't totally get it at the time.
They were operating in uncharted territory.
Right.
The Wild West of the early internet.
Yeah, and they stumbled upon something.
They did.
That would, like, change how we think about fame status and the power of information.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've talked about the impact on socialites, on the media landscape, even on pop culture.
Right.
But what about our listener?
Yeah.
The person tuning into this deep dive.
That's a great question.
What's the takeaway for them? How can they apply these insights to their own lives?
I think one of the biggest takeaways is the importance of being aware of the forces that shape our perceptions.
Okay.
Our values, our aspirations.
Right. We're constantly bombarded with messages, images, narratives.
All competing for our attention.
Right.
Trying to influence us.
So it's about being more critical, more discerning.
Absolutely.
Not just accepting everything we see.
Exactly.
Socialite Rank with their rankings and their snarky comments.
They were shaping how people saw the world.
They were.
Even if it was just a small part of society.
Right.
And today those forces are even more pervasive.
Oh, yeah.
More insidious.
We need to be aware of the algorithms. The marketing tactics that target our desires. The ways our online behavior is tracked.
It's like we need a socialite rank filter for our own lives.
And that's a great analogy.
A way to sift through the noise.
Right.
And figure out what's real, what's genuine, what's worth our attention.
We need to cultivate that critical thinking.
Right.
That skepticism. That ability to see through the facade and understand the motivations behind everything.
So it's not about rejecting social media or technology.
No, not at all.
It's about using them more consciously.
Right. More intentionally.
Exactly. We can't escape the digital world.
We can't.
But we can learn to navigate it better.
I agree.
We can choose who we follow, what content we consume, how we present ourselves.
Right. We can be active participants instead of just passive consumers.
Exactly.
That's empowering.
It is.
It's not about feeling overwhelmed or helpless. It's about taking back control.
Yes, reclaiming our agency.
Our ability to choose, to filter, to curate our own digital lives.
Absolutely. And the story of Socialite Rank can be a guide for that.
Okay.
It reminds us that even facing huge power, individuals can still make a difference.
Right.
They can disrupt things, challenge the status quo, create their own space.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of Socialite Rank,
this crazy world,
I want to leave our listener with some key takeaways.
Okay.
First, the internet has changed the game.
It has.
When it comes to fame, status, and influence.
Absolutely.
Second, be aware of the forces shaping you.
Yes. Shaping your perceptions, values, aspirations.
And finally, don't be afraid to challenge things.
Yeah.
Curate your own online experience. Use your voice.
In a way that's meaningful to you.
I think that's a perfect summary.
Socialite Rank might seem like a relic of the past.
Right.
But the lessons are more relevant than ever.
As we move forward into this digital world, it's up to each of us.
I agree.
To decide how we participate.
Yes. How we shape the narrative.
What kind of world we create.
That's a great way to put it.
And that is a wrap.
We did it.
On our deep dive into the world of Socialite Rank.
Until next time.
Stay curious, stay critical, and keep diving deep